Should the Central Bank of Nigeria have prohibited cryptocurrencies in Nigeria? I have a view. Let me tell you about it. Hi, folks. Welcome today to the podcast, The Way I See It, which is just where I talk about money, personal finance, the economy, and the intersection of all these and how we can learn from all of them together. This week, I want to talk about the Central Bank of Nigeria and the circular that they released about, and I'm quoting here, the risks associated with transactions in cryptocurrency. I'm sure by now everyone has heard about or read that circular because the CBN basically prohibited regulated institutions from dealing in cryptocurrencies and or facilitating payments for cryptocurrency exchanges and all that. So in effect, a ban. CBN is basically saying we don't want Nigerian banks or regulated institutions dealing in cryptocurrencies. So let's understand CBN's point here. The CBN is, of course, worried about illicit flow of cash and the ability of cryptocurrencies to cross borders, unannounced and untaxed. Cryptocurrencies can come in, can go out, can fund whoever, and can, basically you don't have a tag on them. And the CBN is not alone in this. We've heard Christine Lagarde of the IMF talk about cryptocurrencies and their ability to basically go unnoticed in the financial system. And also Janet Yellen, the new U.S. Treasury Secretary, has also spoken about this crypto aspect of the currency. And, they've all said the same thing that the Central Bank of Nigeria is also saying that, hey, we don't really understand cryptocurrencies in terms of their security because we can't track it. It could be used by bad actors and all that. That point is valid. And we are not here to say, oh, they are wrong. We're just here to give our own view, our own perspective on the issue. Yeah. So let me just say this. I think Nigeria is perhaps losing an opportunity. And I'm going to try to make that case in this podcast. I read Thomas Friedman's book, The World is Flat. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. You should get it, and read. He talks about the Y2K crisis and how India was able to leverage on that crisis. And just to a bit background, the Y2K crisis what happened in the year 1999, and there was a new millennia, the 2000 millennia, and there was this worry that computers, their clocks were all set to just two digits. So like if you had 1972, it would just be recorded as 72. There was a worry that if computers moved to the new millennia, which was 2000, then those clocks would reset to 00, and that the computer might basically malfunction because it might read 00 as 1900 instead of 2000, more or less. So there was that fear. So it's a lot of like, hey, get Y2K compliant. Everyone was running around in 1999 and 98 just to get the organizations Y2K compliant. What will happen if Y2K came and the computers failed? Do you have a backup and all that? So there's a lot of spending, a lot of, seminars, a lot of IT guys flying all over the place doing a Y2K consulting. And in that scenario, in that environment, India came out, or the Indian software companies, the Tata Consulting, the Infosys, they came out with a patch, more or less, to fix that Y2K. And not the patch not just worked. The Indians were ready, they were trained, they deployed, and they were able to do that patch for many companies at a fraction of the cost the other companies in the West were charging. So what India did was that crisis in quote presented an opportunity for them to showcase their prowess in software consulting, and they came through. That introduced them to the West, and the West saw, hey, these guys are well trained, we could then use them for other things. And like I said, the story has continued from there, and today Amazon has a huge presence in India. The CEOs of Microsoft, of Alphabet are all Indian descent. Silicon Valley has a lot of Indians, a lot of Indian startups. So you could see that you could trace, if you could, that Y2K, that validation of the competence of the Indian software sector, to the growth, the investment, the mark of, hey, these guys know what they're doing. You could trace it right back to them taking that opportunity and becoming a player in the software industry. So the India took the opportunity, and like to say, the story tells itself. But someone's going to ask a question. Hey, Kalu, today India is trying to pass a bill. I think it's called the Cryptocurrency and Regulation of Official Digital Currency Bill. In effect, India is basically saying they also want to ban cryptocurrencies. So is India not doing the same thing the Central Bank of Nigeria is doing in banning currencies? Well, not really. In India's case, India is saying that cryptocurrencies are so important to the Indian development or the Indian economy that the government of India wants to monopolize the cryptocurrencies. So they want to take cryptocurrencies, and only the government will issue a cryptocurrency to the Reserve Bank of India, and there'll be no private cryptocurrencies. They're not banning cryptocurrencies. They're basically saying it's going to be a government initiative, yeah? But also the Indians are saying that where they are going to give an exception to basically say, hey, we will allow the underlying technology of cryptocurrency and its uses to basically come into effect if need be. So not only are they saying they're going to allow cryptocurrencies where it favors the Indian economy, they are saying that the cryptocurrencies are essential to the economy, so much so that the government should be the one to run them. So it's a total difference from what Nigeria is doing. Nigeria is prohibiting cryptocurrency transaction, is stopping the banks from even doing it. And India is basically saying, no, we think cryptocurrencies are going to be the future. We think it's going to be an important part of the future, and we want to be at the forefront of it. So India is again taking that opportunity to grow, and Nigeria is not. So I don't think it's a question of if cryptocurrencies are going to be the next form of money, nor do I think it's a question of when. I think it's a question of how. I think that that ship has sailed. Cryptocurrencies are coming, and you either get on the train, or what they say, if you don't get on the train and the train runs over you, it's coming. There's really nothing now any central bank can do to stop the adoption of cryptocurrency. I think the main thing, let's understand that cryptocurrencies are actually blockchain. They're just currencies built on the blockchain, which is a series of ledgers on the internet and all that. So that's going to happen. It's already happening, and it's going to keep on happening and growing in scope. And anyone that is basically standing in the way is going to miss the train and will eventually have to get on that train at a higher cost, losing momentum and losing speed. Let's give an example of what I'm talking about. The largest bank in the US, JP Morgan Chase, announced way back in February 2019 the successful trial of the JPM coin as a digital coin like cryptocurrency. So JP Morgan basically says they want to use the JPM coin to transfer international payments between her corporate clients. So the coin is basically based on the blockchain technology, and can be used to track transactions without record keeping. What does all this mean? That means JP Morgan can transfer money from Germany, for Tesla, from Germany to California for Tesla instantaneously, without having to have records in Germany, records in America. Why can they do this? Because they've built the JP Morgan coin on blockchain. So all that would happen is that the two parties will simply go to the ledger and verify that that transaction is complete. I.e., if you move money, you can just go and verify, hey, it's there, because the blockchain is verifying those transactions. So all JP Morgan will do is to say this: if you put in $1 million in Germany, they will issue 1 million coins of JP Morgan coin, yeah? And that coin is simply transferred using the blockchain tech to California. So on your own end, you get a credit of 1 million JP Morgan coins, which is simply convert back to JP Morgan for $1 million. So it's one for one. They're going to use a stable coin to do it. What this means that there's no third party, there is no delay, there is no fee. You put your money in JP Morgan in Cologne or in Germany, yeah, and the money gets transferred to California by JP Morgan instantaneously. It can happen any time of the day. There is no fee, because literally all that JP Morgan is doing is verifying to you that transaction has occurred and showing you the proof of the block ledger that transaction has occurred. So let's not make it too complicated. It's almost like online real-time banking. If you go to a bank in Ikeja and you put 500 naira in a bank in Ikeja, the bank will credit your account. Most times you get an instant credit that the money has hit your account instantly as the teller posted in. So, but imagine if you were sending money not to Ikeja, but you're sending money from Ikeja to say London, or the reverse, somebody was sending money from London to Ikeja. So as soon as you go to the bank in Ikeja and you put in your 100 and naira or $100 in Ikeja, the bank will then issue 100 units of, say, Zenith coin in Ikeja, and instantly using the blockchain, it just existed now. I'm just an example. Those 100 units of Zenith coin would basically hit Zenith London immediately, and Zenith London will transfer those 100 units of Zenith coin back to 100 naira or whatever the exchange rate is, and then the person instantly gets his money. There is no wire, there's no delay, there's no fee, because it's just an internal transfer verified on the blockchain network. It's pretty easy if you think about it. It's just you are transferring value. And you can send a fax, you can send a text, that's data. It is almost the same thing if you were sending, but you are now sending dollars or yen or whatever, and then you are verifying. You can verify that transaction because at all ends of that transaction, the sender and the receiver can verify the chain of custody, i.e., the blockchain transactions, and say, hey, this is true, this has not been tampered with, and this is the actual fund that have been moved over. So you will think about that. This is really, really great. And let me give you an example of why this I think is really wonderful. JP Morgan manages the NNPC CBN account for Nigeria. So when Nigeria sells crude oil, the Nigerian earns dollars, and then those dollars are deposited into the JP Morgan slash NNPC slash CBN account in America. So what this means is that Nigeria could literally request for daily remittances of the funds in that account. And all JP Morgan will do is they will simply issue to Nigeria that unit in JP Morgan coins. And Nigeria will simply, the JP Morgan will send 1,000,000 coins from America to their corresponding bank in Nigeria. The corresponding bank in Nigeria will receive the 1,000,000 coins, they will convert to dollars, and they will simply create a CBN. This can happen per hour, per minute, per day, per week. No delay, no fee, no transfer cost, nothing, because they are simply using an internal transfer to move money across the border, but using a stable coin, so the value will not depreciate. It's going to be still linked back to the US dollar. So one JP Morgan coin is still $1 US. So no dissipation. So CBN is getting this great service, or will soon get this great service from JP Morgan once the service is now made commercial. So you would wonder why CBN would not want this same service extended in Nigeria by Nigerian banks to their customers. And let's just explore what would happen if this system did work in Nigeria. Take the airlines in Nigeria. If they want to go do turnaround maintenance abroad, all they will have to do is to walk into a bank and basically put their deposits and say, hey, I want to transfer this money to America. The bank, let's say it's GTB. GTB can simply do GTB coin and issue GTB coins and move GTB coins instantly to a corresponding bank in Europe or America. And it's there. That's it. There is no wire. There is no delay. There is no middleman. There is no cost. You can still track it. It's only a customer of GT Bank that can go in there and transfer the money. So CBN can still track who is sending that money. CBN can still do your know your customer routine. It's all in there. There is no somebody strolling off the street and just sending money or receiving money. It's still trackable, but it increases the productivity. It reduces the cost of the Nigerian businessman. And that is a plus for Nigeria. This is the point that we have to emphasize. Yeah. Look at Alaba. Let's even break it down. Alaba, you go to Alaba, you want to buy a television set, maybe it's 100,000. You might take cash, you might go and use a POS machine, but you could also transfer, say, Fidelity coin. from your phone issued to you by the bank, or I mean the app on the bank. You can convert your Naira to, say, Fidelity coin and simply pay instantly the merchant in Alaba. So the merchant gets his alert instantly on his phone. He can verify that that transaction is real. It's not a fake transfer because he can verify the blockchain. It's in his account instantly there. No fakes, nothing. Any time of the day, it's there. That would also boost the sales in Alaba market. That would boost commerce. That would boost VAT because Lagos State government could say, okay, hey, let's get a record of all those transactions and we could tax it. The point I'm making is this: the fears about the transactions being hidden or being illicit are really not are gone with this, because it's going to be your customers paying people. Why are they using the blockchain? Because it's trackable, because it's not going to be susceptible to fraud. You can't fake it. You can't fake a transfer using the blockchain. So it's much more secure. And once people understand that the blockchain is much more secure, you're going to have companies that have warehouses in far-flung parts of Nigeria requesting that you make payments in blockchain. So if you go to a warehouse in, say, Kogi, and you want to buy goods, you simply go to your app and you pay via your blockchain-enabled coin. And the customer can receive those blockchain coins or that cryptocurrency coin in his own account held by the bank. And then what happens? He can verify it instantly. And you can do this at any time. So he knows, oh, you've paid. Yes, release the goods to him in Kogi. This again is commerce. This is facilitation of trade. And this is what Bitcoin should then be used for, i.e., the cryptocurrency on the blockchain. That's what we're talking about. The banks should be allowed to then create their own coins linked to a central server, linked to a central registry that can do digital clearinghouses with CBN overseeing it. It would help commerce, it would generate income, it would boost remittances. Imagine what would happen. Emeka can simply go and transfer money from his account and send a stable coin to his bank in Nigeria. It will get to the bank in Nigeria instantly, no transfer fees, nothing. That improves remittances because there is no cost. Unlike today, when Emeka wants to transfer, he has to pay a cost to a third party. In this case, there will be no cost. It's bank to bank, peer to peer. That is a good thing, and that should be a win for Nigeria. Let me just make this point also in closing. Nigeria is in competition with Egypt, Kenya, and in some respects, say Rwanda and all that for who's going to be the leader in IT and innovation. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook was here. He went to Yaba. Same was Chuck Dorsey was also here from Twitter, and they went to Yaba. They came here. These are CEOs. They came all the way from America to Nigeria because they see the potential in Nigeria. They build a Nigerian IT ecosystem can be a partner to help them, not just be in the market to receive their products, but in generating products that they themselves could buy off or they themselves could use to also grow market share. Why can the CBN not call all the fintech, all the IT firms in Nigeria and basically say, hey guys, we want you guys to take this as a task? Start to work with the banks. We're going to work together with a joint solution. Start to create apps. Start to create platforms that can bring all these banks together on this digital platform that was spoken about. Nigeria can then become the leader in this sector. It's a growth sector. Nigeria can become the leader. The apps we develop in Nigeria can be tested here and can be sold and exported to be used in other banks in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia. Nigeria can lead the way in this. Nigeria can lead the way in this. Look at it this way. What about the ECOWAS? Nigeria is trying to do is the leader in ECOWAS. There's an ECO, the currency that ECOWAS wants to use. Why can't Nigeria issue a digital currency, a stable coin backed with a foreign exchange that would be used just for the ECOWAS? We can do that. We can do that. And that would simply eclipse the CEFA as a competitor brand because the CFA, the blockchain that currency Nigeria would issue can again be easily verifiable. You will simply have all the banks in West Africa joining the central cryptocurrency clearinghouse, which would of course be in Abuja or Lagos. And then someone pays in Burkina Faso to Gambia. He just sends a coin from himself to the guy in Gambia. It clears in Lagos, no fee. It facilitates the trade with the African Free Continental Trade Zone. You see, it's all coming together. If you break down the borders for trade, you should also break down the borders for money transfer. It has to go hand in hand, and Nigeria can be a leader. We are also already in ECOWAS. We are the largest economy in Africa. We should lead this. We shouldn't prohibit cryptocurrencies because of our fears. We should use those fears to generate products that verify transactions, that introduce security into the transaction. So let's turn our fears into products and lead in product development. Let's not let this opportunity pass us by, because nature abhors a vacuum. If Nigeria does not do it, Kenya or Egypt or Rwanda will do it. Somebody is going to become the hub for the creation of apps and software that would basically power this new economy that we call the digital or the stable coin or the cryptocurrency, but it's all about the blockchain. Somebody will do it. If Nigeria doesn't do it, somebody will do it. Like I said, we're not here to castigate, we're here to give our own view. Hopefully, I hope this view will be listened to, and then we can come back and say, okay, let's make an exception, let's try it out, and let's see if it will work. It's an opportunity. And with every opportunity, there are always going to be risks. But fortune favors the prepared. Fortune favors those that try. It doesn't favor those that prohibit. Okay, guys, let's stop here. Again, I want to thank you all for listening and sharing and subscribing. Keep doing so. My Twitter address is finplankaluaja1. Please follow every week. Share, tell your friends, and continue to be our partner in this journey that we're having on financial planning and the economy. I appreciate you guys, and I hope to see you guys again next week. Love you all. Bye.